Hey everybody, welcome back to 13 Rings and NFC's podcast. I'm your host Lucas with Mal, Maurice, and Earl. We are reviewing week 12. Guys, we're more than halfway through. It's about to be Thanksgiving. I guess you can call this the Friendsgiving episode because we are recording before Thanksgiving. Before we get started, I didn't tell you guys about this, but I want to go around here everybody's favorite Thanksgiving dish. It can be dessert, it can be a main course, entree, whatever. It just has to be Thanksgiving. So I'll go with Maurice first.
Ooh, I've always been. This is a sleeper. I've always been a deviled egg fan.
Ooh, I can. Okay,
respect.
Okay.
Okay.
Sleeper.
Okay, I don't really feel like that's a sleeper, but okay, Mal.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
No gravy.
Yeah, the Irish side, your Irish side is showing, Mal.
Yes.
And then Earl, what you got?
Homemade mac and cheese.
I'm gonna have to double down on that, though. Besides mac and cheese, I also make stuffed shells for Thanksgiving. I know it's not technically a Thanksgiving meal, but it is a dish that I make for Thanksgiving for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid. I had a friend tell me last year that I can't, because he thought my stepmom had made it because my stepmom was in town. He was like, "Man, you can't let the ladies know that you can cook, or else they're gonna want it. They'll scoop you up because this stuff is kicking." I'm just like, "Okay, man, okay." So
Hey, that's your secret weapon.
that's my secret weapon.
I actually have another dish. It's actually one that I made. It's an apple caramel dump cake.
Ooh, that sounds
sounds
delicious. Yeah. So anyway. Besides Thanksgiving, a lot of things happen. We're not going to spend too much time talking about Thanksgiving. So that being said, before we get into this past week's matchups, of course, like every week, we go over the predictions. So for week 12, everybody predicted the Dallas Cowboys to win. Now, I think last week we wouldn't have predicted that, but somehow Cowboys, well, not somehow. Me and Earl will talk about how the Cowboys pulled off the upset.
Are you okay, Lucas?
I'm getting there. I wasn't after the game. I really wasn't.
No, that was truly emotional damage.
That was the
absolutely.
Emotional damage. Yeah,
Yep,
it was.
You ain't lying. I was right there with you, bro.
It was bad. I mean, look, I think for both fan bases, the amount of emotions that was felt in that game was just unreal. But
it was a lot of prayer, high blood pressure, sweating, tears, happiness, tears.
I got so excited on one play. Well, I'll save that for when we get there. But we all had the Giants losing, though I don't think we expected that spanking that they got from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What Baker Mayfield did was disrespectful.
It was disrespect. Talk about emotional damage to Tommy Cutlets. Of course, we all had the Commanders losing, and then Eagles. We were split decision on this. 2 of us had them winning, 2 of us had them losing. Who do you think had the 2 winning? I'll go with Maurice.
Why don't you go to me first?
Because they're your team.
I think I actually had them losing this game, going cross country. I think I did. Right?
I think I had them winning.
Mal?
I think I had them losing.
Nope, it was Mal and Earl who had them winning, and me and Maurice have them losing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they proved me wrong. But I will say this. Let me ask you this, Lucas.
Yeah.
What was my overall record for the Eagles this season?
I just closed the book.
13-3.
13-4.
Oh, 13-4.
Remember, we got 17 games now, yeah.
So I'm actually on pace.
Right now, you are on pace. Let's see here. If we can do this real quick. Let's see. My record for the Commanders were 8-9. Still possible to have that record. I hope not. That means we only won one more game. But yeah, I mean, we're not off pace yet there. For the Giants, Mal had them at 8-9. Mal, how many losses?
I'm definitely off track on mine.
I think me and Maurice have the more likely outcomes for the Giants. I had them 4-13, and Maurice had them 5-12.
No. Don't even go that high. Stop the count.
So 4-13?
No. 2 wins,
just
2 wins
wins,
only.
2 and 15.
Yeah.
2 and 15,
we're done.
okay. And then, Earl, you had the Dallas Cowboys
12-5.
12-5. Mal also had that record. Maurice had 11-6, and I had 8-9. 8-9 is your best outlook now, if I'm being honest.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Absolutely.
We'll
see
what
Thursday.
happens.
We'll see you in 2 days. So this episode,
That's right.
That's right, y'all. But in the meantime, Cowboys had their second of 3 in a row in terms of divisional matchups because you guys played the Eagles last week, right? Didn't you?
The following.
So 2 weeks ago, not last week. Okay. Anyway.
Yep.
So anyway, Cowboys. They had their next divisional matchup here. Earl told me before the podcast earlier this week that he'll let me go first. So, do I have to do this, guys?
Yes,
This
sir.
is going to be emotional trauma here.
It's all good. I'm there too.
Look, okay, so the Cowboys won 34-26. A lot of ups and downs until like the fourth quarter. It was like 10-9. So low scoring game. That's what it looked like it was going to be defensive, and then the floodgates just opened on both teams scoring wise. From the Commanders side, look, Jaden Daniels went 25-38, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks, QBR of 62. Both of our running backs got injured in this. Our top 2 running backs, Brian Robinson didn't play barely at all. He only had 5 carries for 13 yards. Ankle is becoming an issue for Brian Robinson. He's been very limited. I think he's missed about 3 games, and 2 games he's barely played in because of that ankle issue. Austin Eckler towards the end of the game. That was, I guess I should paint a picture, right? Because just talk about the stats isn't going to do it. So, fourth quarter, we get into it. Play-by-play here. Not getting into the play-by-play, but just real quick here. Fourth quarter, and I'm pulling it up here. Give me a second here. So, Commanders, Cowboys got a field goal in the fourth quarter, 13-19. And then they got a touchdown. It was a 5-play drive. Shout out to, who got the touchdown for y'all? Luke Shoemaker. I think that was his first touchdown ever, right?
Yep, Schoonmaker.
Schoonmakers, my bad. And then the Commanders got a touchdown. And then the Cowboys got a kickoff return for a touchdown. Kevontae Turpin did a turnaround, loopsy-doosey, ran past everybody. Did everything to get that touchdown. He's this generation. He's looking like he could be this generation's Devin Hester, in all seriousness. And then the Commanders, huh?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, and then Commanders, we got a really great touchdown. We got another touchdown in about 6 plays, and we got the 2-point conversion there, I believe. Just field goal. My bad. I thought it was a field goal. My bad. So anyway, and then Cowboys had to punt, and then Commanders got a 1-play 86-yard touchdown by Terry McLaurin. Looked like Terry was putting dipped into the fountain of youth, was beating everybody. Fantastic. Then we kicked an onside kick, which you guys returned for touchdown. And then we tried a Hail Mary this time. It did not work. But, 50-50 on the Hail Marys is still pretty good on a season. Look, getting to the game here, there's just a few things here that I want to talk about. And I won't be too long on this. But look, the Commanders, I think they caught everybody off guard at the beginning of the year, including myself. I drank some of the Kool-Aid. But the Commanders are still a rebuilding team.
You chugged it.
I chugged it. Look, I'm not the only Commanders fan that did it. Our friend Rio Robinson definitely did it. Look, everybody did. Every Commanders fan chugged the Kool-Aid, okay? Let's be clear, first off. Secondly, does that mean this team's a bad team? No. It just means that, first off, we're a young team. We made some mistakes. Our youth showed in this game. We are still an incomplete team. Look, Austin Seibert missed a field goal, extra point that would have tied the game. We had to do the onside kick afterwards, which was our doom. So look, at the end of the day, first off, Austin Seibert was our 5th starting, 5th guy that we brought in to be our kicker. Now he's on IR, which makes me think he wasn't truly healthy and he just tried to fight through this. And at that point, kicker, you can't play a kicker. That's on the coaching staff or training staff for letting him play if he's not 100%. Okay, because with the kicker, you can't have somebody that's injured. I think we can all agree on that. So him being on IR, which, he'll be able to play week 17 if he's healthy at that point. But he's on IR. We have our bye week after this week. So that's not great. With Zane Gonzalez is going to come in. He's solid so far. I mean, but look, we're on our 6th kicker this season. That's not good. That's a sign of a rebuilding team. Look, that's going to be something that we have to prioritize in the draft later next year. This game showed that Jaden Daniels still is a rookie. People are starting to figure out ways to bother him, mainly like having a stunted blitz where they send the initial 4 and then they delay it, and then the 5th guy comes in and then it washes Jaden out to one side of the field, limiting his field of vision. So that's a problem that Jaden's going to have to figure out on his own. But hopefully he can figure it out. There's still a lot of good stuff here right now. It's a tie with him and Bo Nix for Offensive Rookie of the Year. We'll see what happens. I'm not like doom and gloom, but you know what? Jaden got found out. And I mean, part of it is, he wasn't really a runner until this week again. And when the Dallas Cowboys defense is healthy, we saw it with the Texans until like when they played the Texans the previous week. Guess what? They held them to 17 points until the 4th quarter. That's pretty good defense. And they got Deron Bland back this game, which essentially, for the most part, shut Terry McLaurin down. Josh Butler looked fantastic for you guys, by the way, too. Shout out to him. Look, we were missing Andrew Wiley, so that hurt our pass protection. But overall, we're still a rebuilding team. We got out to a hot start, and we beat the teams that we were supposed to beat, but we're still a ways away from being there yet. We thought we were there. We weren't. But that's okay. We're still in 7th place in the playoff hunt right now, a full game ahead of the Arizona Cardinals, so we could still make the wild card. I'm awesome for that. If not, that's okay too. Like I said at the beginning of the pod, we are looking at a 10 and 8-9 record is what I predicted. I mean, I think we'll still get past that, but I think we've shattered expectations considering preseason. Like, people had us 3rd or 4th in the division, where I think for now we're clearly 2nd. So I'll take it. Any thoughts, any comments, any questions? I'm willing to take now.
Who's your player of the game?
My player of the game for the Commanders? That's a tough one here. I will go with Terry McLaurin. Obviously, that 86-yard pass was fantastic. Also, I just want to note, Daniel's 2 interceptions. One was a bobbled pass by Brian Robinson that got picked. That was on Robinson. He should have had that pass. And instead, Chauncey Golston got it. And then the other one was on the Hail Mary. Look, Hail Marys, we know that's a decent chance that could happen. I'm not worried about those 2 interceptions. I'm not. And just a few other notes, not related to the game, but I do want to talk about it for the Commanders. Chris Rodriguez got signed to the team again, which means we're probably not going to have Robinson or Eckler. That's a big concern there. Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez is going to have to carry the load for us probably next Sunday. Positive, some interesting, and I say this as positive news. So the bill to bring the Commanders back to DC to renovate and, revitalize the RFK Stadium has gotten to the Senate floor. It's passed the Senate committee, so now it's on the Senate floor. So hopefully that means that we're going to get the team coming back to DC by I believe it's 2031. And as a part of that, it sounds like, and this is based off the senator from Montana who's been pushing for this, it sounds like not the name, but the old logo is coming back. The old Redskins logo is coming back. It doesn't sound like it's going to be the name. Just a positive thing there. I think the logo was never right. I don't think the logo was ever the problem. I think the logo was respectful. Reminds me of the Seminoles logo or the Blackhawks logo. I don't think that it was a problem in itself there. So any thoughts about the games or that?
I'm going to let Earl do his part, and then I'll make my general comment.
Okay. Maurice, you going to do the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Earl, you got any questions for me besides that, or are you good?
Actually, I do. I did want to talk about the situation with RFK Stadium. One thing that I know from that in the news, I'm really in all besides the rivalry, I'm really happy if y'all go back to DC because that's where it truly represents for you guys.
Mhm.
And one thing that I remember growing up about RFK Stadium was when Dallas went there, it was a tough stadium to play in and always wanted to go to a game, but I was too young. So, Lucas, if they decide to go back to RFK Stadium, revamp it or something, or go to a game, I definitely would be down to go see a game with you there. Cowboys and
Oh, of course.
whatever,
Washington. We've already talked about this. Yeah, it's going to happen at some point. We just got to be making enough money to be doing that. But yeah, no, I'm all for it. Look, man, absolutely. And by the way, Austin Eckler took a really bad hit.
Man, that hit was nasty, bro.
Oh my gosh,
it was clean, but it was nasty. I'm glad that he was able to get up. Yeah,
but he ain't playing next game. He's in concussion protocol. He ain't playing.
I think that was his second one this year or third one.
He might be. Yeah, it's a problem for him. But anyway, it's like his first this season, but he's had a few with the Chargers. Anyway, so Cowboys. Tell us about the Cowboys, Earl. Tell us what's good. Jerry had made some comments today too. After I think as a reaction to you guys winning.
Yeah, he did. I'm gonna go ahead and touch base with that first. Yeah, Jerry talked about saying that wouldn't put out with McCarthy getting an extension. I've heard that before, and basically back in November 19th, 2019, he said in his words, and I quote, he still believes he believes the Cowboys can make a deep playoff run, but have zero chance of doing that without Jason Garrett. That was Jason Garrett's last season. So yeah, it's just the same rinse repeat thing that he said. I'm not buying it because I'll get into that later on the situation, but I don't believe anything he said from that is cap. But I'm going to talk base about the game. And Lucas, GG's, because this game was wild and crazy. Everybody in their emotions
absolutely
was all over the place. Blood pressure was to the roof. Me, I'm looking at this game where I'm like, yo, we about to win this game. And then the defense give up a touchdown, and I'm like, Lord, what's happening? And then missed field goal, and I'm just like, oh, okay, we get the onside kick, kneel down. Nope, that wasn't the case. Wanya Thomas takes that to the house, and I'm just like, bro, all you had to do was kneel down. But I get it. When you get the ball in your hand, you want to make a play. I get it. Respect it. One thing that went wrong in this game, and it was at the earlier part, there was a blocked field goal. There was also a blocked punt, a missed field goal, as well as a Rico Dowdle fumble. And the situation where defense, what type of prevent was that going into that touchdown that Terry McLaurin had? Look. Y'all had defense. I get it.
This game was decided by special teams and defense.
You could say that, but from the 55 minutes in the game, from y'all possessions, Dallas was able to obtain y'all to, and I quote, a field goal, a missed field goal, punt, interception, punt. Y'all got a touchdown. Y'all thought y'all were making a comeback. Nope. Punt, fumble. So from what I got from that is that the defense showed up to play. And it wasn't one half. It wasn't the second quarter. They played through the entire game. Towards the end of the game was a little shaky, but they did everything in their power to win this game. And I respect these guys for it. This win, I really am happy for the players in this because they really needed this. A lot of fans and everybody was talking about how they want them to tank. That's not how you do it. You go out here to play to win the game. And whatever happens. But you at least know that you went out there and left everything out there on the field and didn't sell yourself short. So kudos to the Cowboys for that. What went right in this game? Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer continued to work with these guys. And I believe he was trying to do that at the beginning of the season, but there were so many injuries that hit Dallas on that defensive side of the ball that you're just like, man, like he only could work with what he has. Front office didn't give him the pieces that he needed, and they were late getting some pieces in for this team. But being able to see just the patience and timing and what the defense is doing, that shows that, okay, they really bought into the system. It's just injuries and stuff was just hindering them. But from this game, I saw that they did their thing. And I want to give some shout outs to some players. Micah Parsons, he had 8 tackles with 2 sacks as well as 3 QB hits. He was all over the place. He was being disruptive. Second player was Deron Bland, his debut this season. He's been on the shelf with a foot injury. His stats, he was only thrown to 4 times for 20 yards. He had 6 tackles. And give credit where it's due for that, he had McLaurin clamped. And this player here that I want to give credit to as well, and this man has really been through a lot through his story. If y'all get a chance, check out his story. Josh Butler. Josh Butler had one of the best games he's had his entire life. He was a USFL player, and Dallas signed him to the practice squad, and he got activated for this game because Diggs was apparently hurt. And I'm kind of iffy if Diggs was actually hurt or they just wanted to debut Bland. I don't know. It's football politics. But Josh Butler, he had 12 total tackles. He had 10 solo tackles, as well as a sack and 3 pass breakups. This man had the game of his life, and I give him his flowers for that. And I really hope he's able to play in this next game because he definitely earned his reps and spot out there this past game. The offense, Cooper Rush, what can I tell you? This offense was well balanced. It looked like it was around 30 for 30 with the attempts. And it's amazing what happens when you run the ball and take pressure off your backup quarterback where he can game manage to the best of his ability. One thing that I know from this, you gave Rico Dowdle 19 carries for 86 yards. And the more and more you give carries to him, the more and more in situations, the run game can get stronger. I didn't realize that Tyler Smith didn't play this game. I knew Zach Martin was going to be out. But the lineup that they had from this game was very impressive. The starters, it was Tyler Guyton. He had 25 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures. We had Awesome Richards as well at left tackle with Guyton, and he had 14 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures. Center, Cooper Beebe. He was there at 38 pass block snaps, 0 pressure. Left guard was TJ Bass. He also played 38 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures. Right guard and filling for Zach Martin was Brock Hoffman. He had 38 pass blocking snaps with 0 pressures. And the only one that had a pressure was Terrence Steele at the right tackle spot, and he had 38 pass blocking snaps. So overall, these snaps and accumulation, this line was stout, and it kept Cooper Rush clean. Now, I'm not sure what it's going to look like in the Thursday game against the Giants, but if Zach Martin is still hurting, you keep him on the bench. If Tyler Guyton continues to make mistakes with holding penalties, as well as not lining up on the line, you keep him on the bench, bring Awesome Richards in, and right there, you got a young line that's working together. And when you get them running the ball, they're going to be maulers, in which I think this offensive line is basically built to be a running team, but they want to pass. So maybe this will open up the eyes, and maybe it might help McCarthy's job. But this brother been lying where he should have been running the whole time. But that's nor here or there. My player of the game is Kevontae Turpin, and I want to give credit to Turpin. I don't understand why they did not use this brother sooner this season or last season or when he was a rookie, because you see what he has under his speed and display. He has one of the fastest times in the past 2 to 3 seasons from a football player. And it just mind boggles me that you give this brother a slant play and he takes it to the house last week. And then this time around, he scoops up a ball that went between his legs, picked it up, did a pirouette, and ran the distance in a blink of an eye. And you're telling me you're not going to get this guy more involved on the offense? You killing me, Smalls. Like, I need to see this guy out here more because he's a dynamic player who is basically an X factor for your team. You got to get him more reps. And I think the reason why they're not giving him as much reps, because he's outshining the dudes that Stephen Jones drafted. It's clear as day, when the best player is showing what they're doing, they deserve the reps. And if guys aren't doing what they're supposed to do, you keep them on the bench, let them learn. But overall, I thought this game was a really good bounce back game where I believe the players deserved it, and fans took a bad rep and slamming them, saying that they wanted to lose for a draft pick. Cowboys fans, I got to let y'all know what y'all are missing from that. And just the understanding of what could be a better way to help your team is that you don't need a high draft pick to go along with the draft. You want to base this on a full draft where you need free agents to fill up your team. Come on now. Y'all are slipping with that. Y'all saying, yeah, we need a top draft pick. Well, if that is so much of a case, let me give you some draft picks of guys that you picked up that actually were in the later round. You actually got Micah at 12 in the 2021 draft. You actually got CeeDee Lamb at number 17 in the 2020 draft. So overall, you don't have to worry about getting a top guy in at least the top 5. There's teams already competing for that, and they're in a worse spot than y'all are. Now, depending what y'all decide to do, if y'all want to win some games, so be it. But fans, this is for the players. Like, let them have this moment, because it's going to be one that's going to really help their morale, but also will help them in earning jobs after this season. I don't want to see these guys fail. I want to see them have success in being better within themselves, because who knows? They could be the team brought back to this team to help this team moving forward. So just let us see how it play out. Let them finish the fight. I digress with that, but I got a message for Lucas Washington fans and Fairweather fans. Y'all are talking about all this stuff saying, we want Dallas.
Okay, I never did that.
I'm not talking about you. Let me finish this. We want Dallas. Okay. We want Dallas. Well, you guys, y'all got Dallas. How y'all feel now? Can you feel it now, Washington fans? Ought thou feel it now, Washington fans? Hold this L. I'm done.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Look, I never said that, first off. Secondly,
aren't you a Washington fan?
I say that I wanted Dallas? No, I did not do the chance.
Well,
I never
talk to
did
your
that.
fans as well as the fair weather Washington fans that's popping out of the sewers like the Ninja Turtles.
Okay. All right.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, I will say that I did see a lot of that. You know, I've noticed a trend with the Cowboys, focusing on their guys. Because you know who hasn't had a touchdown yet this season is Rico Dowdle. And there's no reason why he shouldn't have. But anyway,
he's got a touchdown. He has touchdowns.
Not a rushing touchdown. And I do the stats every week for the team.
He's got touchdowns. I mean, give it time. Like, if they run the ball, then yeah, he'll get stronger with that. But McCarthy doesn't want to run the ball. Now, if he really wants to keep his job, he better run that ball. And I'm seeing like bright spots with it. He just got to continue to keep it consistent.
All right, but let's go ahead and give Mal the turn of the mic now.
All right, guys. I won't be long with this, but I'm going to get some good points in here. So I'll start with this. Giants lose 30-7 to Tampa Bay at home. We are winless at home this season. And before I get into the game, I just want to make two statements. Okay, I'm going to start with one thing. Lucas, you said that you were surprised that it was as bad of a butt whooping as it was. I was not. I predicted the night before that we were going to lose 42-7. I thought it was actually going to be much worse, and I think it should have been worse. Now, here's the second thing I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to address the Malik Neighbors comments first before I get into the game. Neighbors came on after the game saying that he doesn't understand what happened. It was 30-0 when he started getting the ball, and he was absolutely right. One thing, guys, that is the biggest problem for the Giants right now is the fact that I don't know how any of these players, and listen, we know that Daniel Jones was a locker room guy. The guys loved him. Listen, this is a business. He was not good at his job. He had to go. The Giants made a decision. Was it handled correctly by Shane? Probably not. But in the end, the job is done. He's gone, is what it is. If these guys are not going to show up after they're being paid the money they are, they want to show up in front of thousands of fans on national television, embarrass themselves, look absolutely pathetic, put in no effort, all for a hill to die on because your friend got let go from the team from a business aspect. That's not going to fly with me as a fan. And you know what? That's on the players. That's on Brian Daboll not being a good head coach for handling that. And that's on Joe Schoen for handling things the way he did. Now, with that said, let's get into this absolutely abysmal performance. And guys, I know that I joke a lot when I say nothing went right. There is not a single thing that was really positive in this game besides safety Tyler Nubin, our rookie, making some plays out there. But the defense, absolutely atrocious. No sacks, no interceptions. No one did anything really on defense. I mean, Micah McFadden led with 6 tackles. That was really about it. Everybody else just had an awful day. No pass rush, no nothing. Terrible. Offensive-wise, Devin Singletary had a touchdown, but the running backs, Tracy had 42 yards. Singletary had 3. Tommy DeVito had 32 rushing yards, but he didn't do anything either. He had a really rough day. He was getting smacked in the backfield there. Neighbors only had 64 yards, and that was when we were already down 30-0. Wando Robinson had 47. Theo Johnson had 39. Guys, no one did anything this game. It just looked like nobody showed up at all. There was no effort. And for the players to come out and say after the game, oh no, and Daboll too. Oh, I think everybody gave an effort. Where? Like, it really looked like they just did not care. I've never seen anything like that before. And it's been pretty bad before, guys. But this one, I really feel, I don't know where we turn from here because it's just not a good situation in the Giants locker room right now. And I just can't believe that all of these guys are not showing up. And it appears because Daniel Jones was let go. Or maybe it's because Brian Daboll said he was punting on the season with starting Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock. But in the end, Tommy DeVito played last year and knew more of Brian Daboll's system. So I didn't necessarily disagree with the choice there. And we've seen Drew Lock play. He hasn't really been very good. So I don't know what's going on. All I know is everything went wrong in this game. Nothing went right. The tank is in full fashion, in embarrassing fashion. Player of the game, I mean, I'd give it to Singletary, but not for just running in a quick little touchdown. I'm probably going to have to give it to Jamie Gillen because he was the only one who did anything for that team on Sunday. The punter. He had the most action.
Yeah, he did. Look, so you talked about things. It's a culture problem. You guys have a culture problem.
Right.
That's what this is. This is a culture problem. And it starts with Joe Schoen. And it has nothing even to happen to do with Daniel Jones this year. Now, I actually feel I don't know what I'm going to do with myself now because I'm saying this half jokingly, but like making fun of Daniel Jones has been like one of the bright spots of this podcast for me. But now that he's gone, and I think that he will be successful elsewhere, it looks like he's trying to go to a contender, not the Raiders. So that's good for him. Look, I honestly think here that they really should have paid Saquon.
Yeah,
now,
but listen,
we'll
we are so far past that now. And
but here's the thing, though. It's we talk about the culture. It all started with that. That's where things fell apart. That's where things went awry. If you would have paid Saquon over Daniel Jones, first off, nobody was going to give Daniel Jones $40 million. Let's be clear.
You want me to tell you the reason why he got paid?
I understand that.
Oh, we all know the reason why they got paid. They panicked. They panicked
No.
Okay.
You want me to tell you the reason why?
Sure.
The reason he got paid is what he did to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look, we're 95% of the reason why he got paid. We're 95% of the reason he got paid.
Them thinking it was him that was around that, going through all the knowledge and so on from that, failing to realize that the one guy that he was handing the ball to in the backfield was generating the energy. He was basically the weapon. He was basically the offense. But then they were too blind to see that, thinking, oh, yeah, we got to pay the quarterback. Yeah, he's going to go on the market and get signed by someone else. In all honesty, I don't think anybody was going to sign Daniel Jones back. No. They would have been good paying Saquon and then would have brought Jones back. But
Yeah.
I just feel like they really
100%.
messed
Franchise
that up
tag
and
Jones.
dropped the ball.
If I was them, I would have franchise tagged Jones, not Saquon, and then just ate that money for that year, and then see if Jones could replicate it. If not, then
All I'm saying
you
is
move on. But
this is where we're at right now, and Saquon would not. I'm happy. I'm very happy he left, and I'm actually very happy that he's having the success he does with the Eagles, because you know what? He would not have it here still. Our offensive line is trash. We have nothing else besides him. We would probably still be 3-8. The defense is terrible. Shane Bowen is terrible. And with this whole Daniel Jones thing, it just got even worse. Beforehand, we were losing and it wasn't good, but this was a lack of complete effort. I've never seen my team perform that poorly in every aspect of the game before. That was a really complete, and it should have been worse. It should have been worse.
And
but
look, we could talk Saquon until we're red in the face, but Mal, you guys also let Xavier McKinney, who's leading the NFL in interceptions right now.
He's understand that, and that's why I'm saying Saquon was, yes, it started things, but he wasn't the only problem. And listen, we let pieces go that should have never been let go, that we should have paid, or that we should have at least gotten trade value for. In the end, it is what it is. But right now, this is where we're at. It appears that this whole lack of effort this week was because of Daniel Jones' release. And that's why there's such an emphasis on the culture aspect, and people are making Daniel Jones a martyr now. I don't know where that came from.
Do you think Dable will ever be able to get this team back even after this season?
Probably not. No, they have to clean house yet again.
Well, and we'll talk about that with our poll questions. But any other thing you want to add, Mal, before we shift to Saquon's current team?
No, I'm done with that pathetic team. You can move on.
You're done? Okay. All right, Maurice.
I got a question.
Okay.
Was it a mutual release for Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
He went to John Mara directly and asked.
Okay, because it was weird that the day before he had a whole press conference.
He was planning it. He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it kind of looked like what when Dak was playing his rookie year and Romo tried to get back and he really couldn't, especially with his injury. He had a press conference kind of the same as what Daniel Jones did, and then it was his release.
So I'll give Joe Shane and management a little bit of credit for parting ways the way they did, instead of just keeping him, because the reports were that he was playing backup safety and
he was playing
safety,
not backup.
Scout team. Yeah, which was really degrading, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely
same thing happened to RG3 before he left.
All the practice squad players do it.
Yeah, that was grimy too.
Yeah, shame. All right.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk more about the leadership of the Giants when we get to our poll question. But go ahead, Maurice.
Yes. So we are on a little win streak, a 7-game win streak of our own. Listen, the Philadelphia Eagles, we're riding high right now, and to be quite honest, we're one Saquon Barkley catch away from being 10-1 right now. So it's been going pretty good for us, but not to put anything negative on Saquon, because on Sunday night against the Rams, it was another Saquon game. I'll say that much. I even tweeted #ThankYouGiants. So the Philadelphia Eagles won 37-20 over the Rams. Listen, I ain't gonna get into much stats on this one. I'm just going to say 26 carries, 255 yards, 9.8 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. A rushing long of 72 yards, and overall in total yardage 302 yards. That was Saquon Barkley's night in LA. What did he have a game? It was actually really fun to watch. In his 11th game as a Philadelphia Eagle, he broke the franchise rushing record. Transcendent player. What else can I say? And there's a lot of talks of him being in the conversation for MVP, and I think that's deserved right now. He's on pace to break the rushing record. the single season rushing record held by Eric Dickerson since 1984. That was 40 years ago. 40 years ago. So,
And isn't he on pace to break Chris Johnson's all-purpose yards record too?
Yep, I was going to get to that. Yeah, he's going to do that too. I mean, he's on pace right now to do something really, really special. And it really comes down to a winning culture, a winning environment, an organization that prioritizes, the players and puts them in a position to succeed. And, he has a great offensive line, something that he's never had with the Giants, like now stated earlier. So our offensive line is top notch. And we got guards and tackles pulling and centers pulling and rolling out 10 yards, blocking for Saquon. And just watching these games, it looks like he's a completely different player. He's a rejuvenated player right now. So he's definitely been a difference maker for us, at least on offense. He's the best player on our team, on offense at least. But, A.J. Brown had a good game. 6 receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown. But we didn't have Devontae, but our defense came through as well. Once again, the young guys in our secondary is looking really good. Overall, we have 5 sacks. Our defense looks really good. But we did take a loss. Took a big loss. Brandon Graham, who's an OG vet, 36 years old, been with the team his whole career, 3rd in sacks in franchise history. He tore his tricep. He's out for the season.
Do you think this is the end for him, or do you think he'll try to come back?
He was having a productive season, so I think he's going to try to come back. Obviously, that's coming down to him and his family to make that decision. I would love for him to come back, but that's a decision he has to make with his family. But yeah, a tricep injury is a bad injury. He actually during an interview, he actually showed the injury and the swelling, and it looked pretty bad. So salute to Brandon Graham, man. If this is it, I'll give him the proper salute, the proper goodbye when that time comes. But it's a tough loss for this defense because he was very productive off the edge, and they don't really have anybody that they can, plug in there to give that same type of production. I talked about our 3rd round pick in the last draft, Jalix Hunt. He's now going to be put in a position where, he has to, be on the field and make some plays. And I still think he's a project. I still think he's like a year away from even really being an impact player on the field. But now he's going to be thrown in the fire, as they say, next man up. And we'll see. We'll see what he can do. It's going to be a tough matchup because they play the Ravens next week. So we need to still keep that pressure from our line to help our secondary be impactful. So we need to keep this ball rolling somehow. But our defense looks elite. Defense looks really good. So if our defense can keep rolling and keeping teams under 300 yards in total offense, and if our offense can keep rolling, get healthy first off, and keep rolling and keep feeding Saquon, this team's going to be in a good position in January. And one more thing before I log off here, I got to give credit to Kellen Moore, because as we talked about on here, Kellen Moore has always been a pass first offensive coordinator, and he's contorted this offense, constructed this offense around the talent that he has. And he quickly realized that Saquon Barkley is 1 in a million type player. And this team has quickly gone from a pass-first team to a pass-first offense to a run-first offense. And I got to give Kellen Moore credit for that because he's never done that before in his career. So, as offensive coordinator. So, everyone's making the right adjustments right now. And I like where my team is going. So, anybody got anything to say?
So, shout out to Kellen Moore. I was going to say shout out to Kellen Moore for making the adjustments. Also saw an interesting statistic. Out of head coaches that have coached at least 50 games, I believe I saw that Nick Sirianni is the 4th winningest head coach of all time now.
Wow, okay.
So that's just
crazy.
Interesting.
That's interesting because he was on the hot seat.
Yeah. It's crazy how quickly he's turned things around. I mean, that's just a testament to, like, yes, does he have his moments? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, he can rally the troops. He has looked better. Shout out to that. And then just, Jalen Hurts posting a career high 69% completion percentage. I mean, more is less with less is more with Jalen Hurts when it comes to passing, and he's doing really good. He also has this, I believe it is the 6th most 20 plus scoring plays. No, he has
yards?
No, sorry. In terms of like long scoring plays, he has 6 of 20 plus yards. That's tied for first in the NFL. So kudos to Jalen Hurts too. That being said, Earl, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I'm going to give credit where it's due. Yeah, good job to the Eagles. They handle business. Kellen Moore, I give him credit as well, but I also think Sirianni's got his fingers around his neck to make sure the calls are called correctly. And I know Sirianni definitely wants to run the ball, where I know passing right now, it has to be secondary. But overall, I like what Saquon is doing. I'll call him the closer, because whenever y'all need him to close out the games, he delivers. When you run a counter play and a swing play and he takes his 60, 70 yards for touchdowns, yeah, he's y'all closer. He's y'all ultimate weapon. It's absurd in the right way. And yeah, y'all are rolling right now. Y'all continue this pace, keep running the rock. Y'all will get to the promised land.
Mel?
All I got to say is prayers up to BG, man. I love that guy. He's such a class act. He deserves nothing but good things. He was absolutely gutted about his injury, so I wish him well in his recovery and hope that he can come back strong next year, because that really, really sucks.
I also like that he broke the news on that. It wasn't like anybody else. He was just like, I messed up, guys.
Oh, I do have a shout out to one of the players on the Eagles, Cam Jurgens. He went to my favorite college, Nebraska, and I want to give a shout out to him. He really stepped in at the center role, did his thing, and I think that's going to be his spot for the future as long as he keeps what he's doing.
Yeah, it's crazy how they went from Jason Kelsey kind of like to the same prototype of a center in Jurgens. They basically did the same thing. They look similar actually when in the field. But before I end, I just want to give out this one stat. Not throwing dirt on anyone, but this is kind of a crazy stat. Saquon Barkley, as of right now, as of this recording, has 1,392 rushing yards. The Giants have 1,275 combined.
Oh, wow.
So he's basically outscoring the entire offense for the Giants.
Rushing their rushing. Just the rushing. Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna. He's out rushing the whole entire division. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
And I was gonna get to. And the Dallas Cowboys have 908 rushing yards this season.
He shouldn't be out rushing the Commanders though, because both Robinson and Jaden have 500 each, plus another 300 from Eckler at least, right?
It's close, but let me look it up. But we can move on.
Yeah. Anyway, so time to go to the social media. I will. I think it is the. We got the mailbag. Maurice, we got any questions?
Yeah, and I looked it up real quick. The Commanders have 1,773 rushing yards.
Okay, so
their leading rusher is Daniels.
Yeah, Daniels is because Robinson's been hurt for like half the season.
Yeah, Daniels has 556, and Robinson has 537.
I will say this. Robinson, when healthy, he was only like 100 to 200 yards behind Saquon earlier on this year. Now, I don't think he could keep up that pace with Saquon, but would he be closer to 800, 900 yards at this point of the season if he had played and was healthy? I think so.
The craziest thing is that Derrick Henry is keeping up with Saquon.
Second best running back.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe there's two running backs
actually,
that are
right
having
now,
that good of a season.
Tracy is Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Tyrone Tracy is actually the second leading rusher in the division right now. He's been fantastic. And just a quick note on Robinson. I honestly think we need to. I like him, but I don't trust his health. He's been injured at least. He's missed at least 2 games every season. So at this point, target a running back in the earlier rounds of the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a cap off on this. Shout out to all the running backs that were free agents going into the off season and were signed. They're all running amok right now. And
Josh Jacobs, Aaron Johnson,
Joe
Josh
Mixon,
Jacobs, Aaron Johnson,
DeAndre
Joe
Swift,
Mixon.
like they're all killing it right now. So Derrick Henry
Nobody
is
got. I mean, Devin Singletary, you could say is like the low ball here, but like he didn't get paid that much. First off, secondly, like he's not doing a terrible job. I mean, he's a second string running back. We all knew this at the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
but just wanted to give a shout out to the running backs. They're
absolutely
they're earning their money.
And we'll get to the MVP here. But if Saquon does win MVP, imagine the running back position is not dead anymore, guys. Anyway, go ahead with the mailbag, Maurice.
All right, so the mailbag this week, NFC mailbag this week, is going to be Thanksgiving themed. My question to you guys is, do you have any football memories on Thanksgiving Day?
I have a ton.
I mean, I remember watching football, and I remember last year when the Giants the Cowboys decided to be disrespectful and have, drumsticks waiting. Turducken waiting in that little thing, but
I don't have a lot of Thanksgiving memories because the Eagles rarely play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
but like you mentioned, turducken, John Madden, those are the things I do remember about Thanksgiving football.
I'll go a little more sentimental. I used to, since my grandma passed away this year, and I won't have her this year for Thanksgiving. That was something we always did on Thanksgiving. So I have a lot of good memories with my Nana when it comes to football. So that'll always be special to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that with my grandmother. I really haven't had a grandmother in the last 11 years, so it's definitely been tough, but being able to watch football with her as well as my late uncle as well, it was definitely truly special for me, especially for my family. One play in particular I enjoyed was seeing Deron Bland break the interception record in the season.
Well, Earl, I'll say this.
Last year?
Yeah, that was.
Earl, my Nana, she was a Cowboys fan.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, nice.
I think you mentioned it. Who's her favorite player?
Tony Dorsett.
Oh,
okay.
And mine is Emmitt Smith.
All right.
She loves Tony Dorsett and Troy Aikman. So.
Absolutely. So let's get to.
Yes, let's go.
I think this is a good one. Who's that football player, Earl?
Yes, it's time for Who's That Football Player? This football player played with the Philadelphia Eagles back in the 2013 season, had 16 starts. He had 1,019 offensive snaps with 4 penalties, as well as 3 false starts and 4 sacks allowed back in the 2013 season. His career awards is Hall of Fame All 2010s team, 3-time NFL Top 100, a Super Bowl champion, 9-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All Pro, as well as 4-time second team All Pro. Guys and gal, who's that football player?
I should clarify the 3 false starts were included in those 4 total penalties.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. It was a little confusing. I understand how I wrote it on the stats.
So this is really Earl now because I know this.
Yeah, and I had to know this to make the graphics. So
is it who I think it is?
Who do you think it is, Mal?
I think it's Jason Kelsey.
You think it's Jason Kelsey? Earl, who do you think it is?
Jason Peters.
Well, it's definitely a Jason, so you both are right in that regard. But Maurice, who is it?
It is Jason Peters.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
He was the left tackle, right?
He was.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
He's still on a practice squad in, I think, Seattle, right?
Really?
I think so.
Yep. He is.
He's got to be 40.
He's 42.
Hey, he's spreading knowledge.
He played last season for the Seahawks, dude.
He also
Wow.
played with the Cowboys too.
Yeah, Jason Peters has been around for a long time. He's been good for a while. I'll say one thing about the Eagles, man. We always find good linemen. I don't know why. I don't know how, but
Must be
we always
nice.
had.
Howie Roseman must be. Howie Roseman and Jerry
He had
Jones
to
are probably
learn.
the two
He had to
of the
learn
best
from
scouts.
Jerry. Yep.
I mean, even going back before Howie, I mean, we had like John Ryan and Trey Thomas. You know, guys back then, man. We always had good linemen.
Maurice,
Anyway.
at some point, you got to create a top 10 offensive lineman list for the Eagles.
Oh, that would be tough.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
I'll do one for the Cowboys.
Season.
I'll do one for the Cowboys.
Are we doing our Mount Rushmore of offensive linemen this year? Is that what we're going to do, guys?
No, don't do that. Oh God. Yeah, you know what? I can.
It's
I
too
can
many. It's too.
I can participate in that. I can.
You can.
Just not
It was
recently.
tough for you for the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not recently, but this
Could we
one
push
I
it
can
to
participate.
5?
It's not
No,
Mount
it has to be
Rushmore.
four. It has to be 4.
Dang.
You can have an honorable mention like we did last year, but like they're
Nah,
not going to be
but-
on the Mount Rushmore.
I got the
Anyway,
Great Wall.
yep, yep. Now we're stuck on offensive linemen. I was going to
Poll
say running
question.
backs or wide receiver, but nope, we're doing What? What's the poll question?
We're gonna do the poll questions now, right?
Oh yeah, poll questions. Yes.
All right, so let's do the poll questions. All right, so I'll do the Eagles one first, and this is regarding Saquon. Will running back Saquon Barkley be the first non-QB winner of the MVP since running back Adrian Peterson in 2012? And I just want to publicly announce real quick, guys, I won't be long. Maurice, I am sorry. I owe you an apology. You're right. Saquon is him. Okay? That's all you'll hear from me.
He's
I'm taking-
Himothy. Him Jones. Him Jones.
He's Himothy. He's Himothy.
Because I
Yeah.
tweeted you last week, but I didn't give you your flowers on the podcast. So this is me giving you your flowers, okay?
All right,
So-
thank you. I
He
appreciate
got them
it.
You're
flowers while he
welcome.
living.
So
Maybe.
most people said yes, that he will be the first running back to an MVP, which I kind of agree with. So, go ahead.
Like I said, if the Eagles are like a top team, if they're like a number 1 or number 2 seed, and he breaks that rushing record, you can't deny it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
you
deny
got to
it.
give it to
There's
him
no way.
for that too.
Yes. Yeah.
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 All right. And
2,000
now,
yards automatically, in my opinion,
Go ahead,
gets
Lucas.
you a top conversation for MVP.
Yeah.
now we have 2 Giants poll questions. So the first one is, will Daniel Jones get another chance to start for another team in the future? Yes, no, or only because of injury? Most people said yes. If he goes to a contender, I don't think he will. But if he goes to a team that's not a contender, maybe.
I can
Unless
see
it's
him
the
going to the
Vikings.
Niners.
Yeah,
They have a young QB in Sam Darnold. I don't think the Vikings are an option there.
I mean, you could do the 49ers because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
honestly
49ers
don't
would
think
work.
the Niners is going to pay Brock Purdy all that money.
Do you think that they would want to? I don't know. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm staying away from Daniel Shanahan.
I
But-
don't know, man. Like Shanahan's
know
job might be
where-
at stake
yeah.
too.
Yeah, his job might be at stake, but like he's going to get another coaching job. Let's be clear. Because like
Yeah.
only in San Francisco could you make 2 Super Bowls and not have security.
Yeah, that's true.
What if he
So-
went to the Giants?
no.
That would be a fun. Why not?
Dude, you know what? Maybe. Whatever. I'm open to I don't care anymore. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
Whatever, man.
I'm
He's
so
like, I don't
tired.
care, man.
Like, I don't know what's going to fix that dumpster fire, but let's talk about the Giants coaching, guys. So this is the last poll question. Is this a precursor for the New York Giants to make changes this offseason, and who is on the chopping block? If so, Brian Dable, Joe Shane, or both. Everyone said both because you cannot get rid of one without the other because both are linked to each other. So if we are going to
They
redo everything,
aren't
we have
lying.
to.
To clarify, when I said precursor, I meant to the tweet that it was connected to, which was the Malik Neighbors tweet. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
So, yes. So anyway, yeah, no, I think both are. I think you need to clean house because I
Yeah.
don't think Dable. Look, I think Dable can be a good head coach somewhere else, but I think the toxicity that Joe Shane's responsible for has ruined his chances of regaining that locker room.
I will
And
say just
listen.
real quick that Dable will be a better OC than he is a head coach. That's all I'm saying. Maurice, you can go ahead.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
too.
But he'll get another chance to head coach somewhere at some point if he wants it.
But see, the thing is, though, with Joe Shane, if he would have had a bad offseason, a bad draft, I think he would have survived. He would have survived this. But the fact that his two best players have gone on and been successful elsewhere, in McKinney and Saquon, it's like putting gasoline on the fire, man. It's like it's 2 times worse.
Yeah, and I know Jim Mara is sick, like he said in Hard Knocks.
That clip is going around viral
It's a meme
right
now.
now. Yeah,
it is. They let it happen, and now they took the axe in the back for it.
All right, so the next question, let's go to the trivia question of the week. So, and by the way, I want to shout out Facebook. There was a group that I shared this to. We had over 40 people comment. Only one person got it right. I will reveal who that person is after I read the question, and you guys are responding to it. So, who was the youngest running back in Washington Commanders / Redskins history to have over 1,000 yards rushing in a single season? So, whoever wants to chime in first, you are more than welcome to do so.
Can I go?
You can go first, Earl.
Cool. I'm gonna take a shot and say Reggie Brooks at age 22.
Okay, and what do you think, Maurice?
I'm gonna go out of the box. I was gonna say RG3.
Okay.
So
and Mal?
I'm gonna go back. It's really early, but I feel like I don't know if he was the youngest or if he was the first one to ever have an 1,000-yard rushing season, but I'm gonna say Larry Brown.
A lot of people said Larry Brown. Actually, and I can't believe Earl got this right, but it was Reggie Brooks in 1993.
Yeah, I would have not got that.
Yeah, I thought it was Alfred Morris, honestly, when I was like, it's probably going to be Morris, and Morris was close. Actually, Clinton was closer than Morris. But it was
when I talked to you, Lucas, when I asked you about it and I gave you an answer, I was just like, hold on, let me go back, because I'm just like, there was another running back around the time of like 93. So yeah, it was kind of like my third, because it was between Brooks, Morris, and Gibson, and Brooks was the ultimate choice for me. So
yeah, look, Brooks, and somebody said Mike Thomas, and he did have Mike Thomas, but he didn't end the season, and he didn't end the season at 22. He ended his season at 23. So that is what I'm going with there. But somebody else, they did that, and Facebook is taking forever to load. I do want to give out this person their shout out, though. Give me 1 second here. Facebook is being Facebooky. But yeah, no, I thought this was a good question. I thought this was good. I actually was going to do initially the oldest, but the oldest was John Riggins, and that just felt too easy, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, I went with the youngest instead, which ended up being a pretty good question. Oh, it was Seth Taylor Albright from Facebook who got it right.
Hey,
shout out to you.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people said Alfred Morris, Larry Brown, Tim Smith. Look, Clem Portis was one of them too. Mike Thomas, Stephen Davis. But yeah,
what really helped me was the age, saying the youngest.
Well, that was part of the question. Yeah. So anyway, what's up next? I think. Oh, Earl, it's your prospect of the week.
Oh yeah, for the Giants. Yes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and touch base on this real quick because I want to make sure we're at a decent time. The New York Giants in the 2025 NFL Draft, in the 6th round, I got them drafting Isaiah Nayer, wide receiver from Nebraska. He's a big target. He's at 6'4", 230 pounds. I feel like the Giants really need a larger target for their quarterback to get to. They have the speed guys. They need more of a big target possession guy. And Isaiah Nayer fits that build. He high points the ball, and he can definitely box out, which is definitely key for a receiver. The only downside is he needs to improve on his run blocking. And I think over time, if you get you can have the wide receiver coach work with him on that. I think that would be a good asset for the Giants because they have Malik Neighbors who could take the top off the defense. You got Jalen Hyatt, Hopefully he can emerge as the third wide receiver, but you also got Wan'Dale Robinson as well. And then you put Nair in there as well. You got a solid 4 to 5 receiver rate where you can interchange what you want to do, especially when you can get the ball to the guys. Because y'all have the skill guys, but you need a guy who can get the high point the ball, do the jump ball. So that's the prospect I got for the Giants.
And on that note, I'm going to let Mal do the preview of Week 13, and then we're going to walk it out, okay?
All right, sounds good. So first up for Week 13, we have an NFC East matchup of Giants versus Cowboys. Earl, congrats on your win. Enjoy your turkey. Titans versus...
not until it hits quadruple zeros, anything's possible. So
fair,
yeah.
but...
I don't think you guys will be hiding turducken this year.
We're looking at
I hope
Drew
not.
Lock, right?
That would be very bad.
You know what would be messed up? They had one of the turducken wings in their helmet. They might find a way to do it.
Really gross. That would be gross.
Hey, it's wild. Like, I mean, if it's in the cauldron again, like, yeah, they can do that. But I think they'll be creative this time. Maybe the mascot hands them a turducken or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Now, is Drew Lock starting?
We don't know yet, but I'm gonna go with probably.
I think DeVito's gonna start.
Yeah, he's just a little shaken up, but it sounds like he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, so we'll see as we get closer to game time.
In all
honesty, Mal, this might be the lowest viewing game on Thursday.
Oh, it will be. A lot of people are already making memes about taking a nap during this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can kick rocks. Hope they slip on some cranberry sauce.
Whatever. Earl and I will be tuned in. That's fine. Even if we're the only two watching.
I'll watch two.
It's all good.
You'll probably be asleep too, Lucas. Be honest.
I'm not making my Thanksgiving meal until the next day when my parents come into town, so I got nothing to do.
The cheese will put them to sleep.
But speaking of Lucas's team,
I'm not eating that much cheese on Thursday. That's what I'm saying. Y'all ain't listening to me.
Being cheesy.
Okay.
Speaking of Lucas's team, Titans versus Commanders this weekend. I think that'll be a pretty good matchup. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the Titans have actually started playing better after Will Levis came back from being benched. But by the way, shout out to all the young quarterbacks that got benched and getting a second chance. They're playing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out Jameis Winston. Just because he's Jameis Winston, I think he's hilarious.
Oh yeah. I still can't believe he hit. What did he hit? He hit a
crab legs.
Crab legs in his
crab
pants.
legs.
I'm just like,
it's wild. It's wild.
He's wild.
He's trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
But no, by the way, Bryce Young looked a lot better. So it wasn't just against against the Giants. They looked really good. Bryce Young starting to look like a young good prospect. Anyway, but getting back to it.
And then our last matchup is going to be a really good one, guys. That's Eagles versus Ravens. I'm excited for this one. Hey,
Battle
Maurice,
of the Birds.
Go Birds, but not your birds. Just so you know.
Oh no. Well, at least you got a team to root for.
Yeah, you're playing my Ravens. I can't. Like, it's a double
win.
Wait
a minute. Your Ravens?
Yeah, my backup team.
Oh.
I don't got no team to root for this year,
her ultimate trap card.
Yeah, my trap card. My Giants are terrible, so I got to find someone to root for.
This is going to be a really entertaining game. The two best rushers in the league right now.
I'm just waiting for all the shanked field goals and punts between both of you.
Leave Justin Tucker alone.
This has not been a year for kickers.
Yeah, no, it's been a rough year for kickers. But, guys,
question, y'all think that's going to be a low-scoring game?
No.
Who's going to have more rushing yards?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's a poll question right there, y'all.
Yeah, that is a good poll question. We'll have to put that out. But let's close out, guys, real quick. Get this all finished up. So thank you guys all so much for listening. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving with your families or however you're spending it. Enjoy your day and enjoy some good football. Please make sure you follow us on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Music at 13 Rings NFC East Podcasts. Make sure you follow us on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 13 Rings NFC East Podcasts. And make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube at 13 Rings NFC East Podcast. Everyone have a great holiday and have a good night.
See ya.
Blessings. Happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.